you just brought in the whole 2024 aspect. And I can't be excited enough because most people listening to this episode and also the others who are just chancing upon this episode would definitely have this thought about getting started with a little project of theirs, which could be just putting their thoughts out in public, or it could be like writing articles, blogs, videos. And so, how to grow the discoverability in the most organic way, Aarti? Because we are at a time where tech platforms is very hard to navigate at times because you don't know how do you measure growth, how do you measure performance. Like things are great one day, things are just going berserk the other day, and platforms are getting complicated and just keep to evolve.
Think honestly, the first whatever time frame you're setting for yourself, don't focus on the growth part. Like, you can honestly, you'll figure out distribution, you'll figure out acquisition, whatever,
Mhm.
your side hustle might be. If it's like a tech startup, if it's like, whatever you're trying to do, I would actually focus on getting it out there, just shipping. There's so little focus on the 0 to 1 work of like getting it out the door and getting other people to go see it or try it. And so much more
Mhm.
focus on, is it successful? And I think you'll get there and that is going to be a problem and you're going to like find ways. There is no one silver bullet to finding distribution or scalable customer acquisition. You're going to have to find what works for you. You're going to look at like ROI from, I don't know if you're doing ad spend or if you're doing like any other like organic viral ways to grow. There's no like one size fits all kind of approach that is like, here's the secret book of finding
Mm.
growth kind of thing. But I do think shipping is the first step. And half the time, I think whether we like it or not, the obstacle is it too silly? Is it too stupid? Would people even try it? Would people use it? I don't know, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I can tell you the number of projects, both at work as my full time effort, but also as like side hustles, where once you ship and you get it out the door, especially if you're like have the privilege of like being able to build in public, you start to get into this cadence of, oh, I got this customer. What is that person doing? How are they using this app or this product? And what value are they seeking from it? Wait, let me watch that. And you kind of like start to iterate on it. Now you're not the only stakeholder. There are other people you're like
Right.
responsible for. And it just becomes this really nice virtuous cycle. It's like an upward spiral for you, as
Mm.
opposed to the downward spiral, which is you sitting by yourself, not shipping anything, not putting it out there, constantly trying to make it better. I will ship when the version is perfect, when this is great, when it is amazing. There's no such thing. I mean, if you have a high bar for yourself, which you should, you're always going to be like kind of cringing about your first version out there. If you're not, then it's not early enough, or it's not. It's a little too late. If you feel like this is like a perfect, great version to put out there, it's a little too late to ship. So the first version that you put out there should always make you feel like when you have people like using your app or whatever, it's be like, oh my God, I can't believe they're like going through this onboarding experience. This is horrible. And you just like slightly die inside. And I've now come to just relish that a little bit because
Yeah.
it just tells me that I am not the only person out there now thinking about this. There's somebody else who's going to work with me, whether they like it or
Right.
not. I'm just going to like figure out how to make this work for them. And it's great. Like, it's the most fulfilling thing you can do to have users try something that you put out there or consume something that you've written or, publish a video that people are viewing. And it's great. So people should just do more of that without having to think about growth and distribution as the step one hurdle.